All right, so now it's time for me to wire the Supra. The Supra has a lot of extra wire that I'm going to be deleting. The fuse box is going to go in inside on the kick panel next to the other fuse box, and then there won't be a fuse box in the engine bay, which makes it really nice because there's, you know, stuff cluttering up the engine bay for no necessary reason other than it to be out in the engine bay instead of inside the car is kind of pointless. Car manufacturers, I don't know why they do it, but let's for example, let's take the blower motor relay. The blower motor box is over there. The plug is over there. The relay is on the driver's side fender. So literally there's a wire that runs all the way from over there around to the driver's side fuse box. What's going to happen now is it's just going to go from the fuse box, this fuse box I'm going to put under here, and it's just we're going to pull the dash back out, and it'll just wrap around and plug right into that plug over there instead of going around the engine bay. And the headlights, same thing. They're going to go directly out. There's going to be a cooling panel. You could do it with individual harnesses on each side if you're really picky about it, like I did on my 240. I did harnesses on both sides, so I didn't have anything running in front. But Trevor's going to run a cooling panel, so that makes it a little bit easier. I'll just kind of do like the stuff for the factory stuff. It will just be, the fuse box will be in here, so the fuses be up here. It'll be here, and they'll just L to this driver's side headlight, and then go to the passenger side, and everything will be nice and tucked. Separated the headlight, so the high and low beams so far, the fog lights. I'm working on the windshield wiper part, and up here you can see the wires are kind of just labeled because I need to change the lengths. So this needs to be kind of extended a little bit further. I'll have to get some more wire, but these two right here are low beams, and I'm pretty sure the other ones are the high beams. And then the other plugs I'm gonna stick in a sec is the fog lights. I'm pretty sure that these right here are the fog lights. I'm not a Supra guy, so I really don't know if they are or not, but I'm just kind of going off of usually high beams are in the very center of the car, low beams are on the outside. So if you're going to run AC, this is the only wire you need out of this plug. This plugs into the passenger side, and if you look at the back of the plug with the little clip on the top, it is the very center left prong that you need. It's a blue yellow wire, so I like keeping these factory little clips in the for the wires so they don't chafe or anything on the sharp edges, and they just clip in. I don't know if Trevor was planning on putting that back in, but I'm doing the wiring, so it's going back in. So let's add all the wiring you're going to see on this side for the chassis harness. Let me run her up through. Come here, I wish I had another hand. So this one wire for the AC pressure switch plugs in to this first green plug right here. Okay, so I pretty much have the harness laid out right here. It's pretty much just turn signals, the wire for the blower motor, and well, not for the blower motor, but it goes to the pin on that circuit board over there, and then the windshield wipers and some other lights and stuff. So I'm going to stuff that in the car and figure out where I'm going to actually put the fuse panel / relay. And another thing is I shouldn't have to extend the turn signal wiring because they were already directly from that pin to the turn signals. Me and Trevor went to Don's Sport Car to get another wiring harness from an SC 300-400 just for some clips, and also some extra wire that I could be able to extend the wire. Okay, so you can see I didn't have enough wire, so I'm just using red. This wire right here, I'm gonna have to kind of do a draw out so people can understand exactly how the wiring goes. because it might be kind of confusing. So the red right there goes to these two red-white wires that I spliced, and that it comes from the fuse that's going to be inside the car that provides power to the high beam and the low beam back here. So you can see this red-white here and the red-white there, and then there's the ground. So, and then this is the other. So this will be, so how this works is this red-white right here will have constant power from the headlight switch when the lights are on, and it'll be grounded. So this will always be on when the headlights are on. And then this high beam, you can see this larger red-white. Well, this red-blue is a ground on the headlight switch, so it will ground through the headlight switch and then turn on. So it's always getting its power from the fuse inside the car. That used to be right here. So I'll show you, I'll do a diagram for the circuit, but right here you can see this red-white right here. It's a 15 amp, and that goes to those wires. So just so you don't get lost. And then the same thing on the other side for the, so this is the passenger side. The red-white is passenger, red-black is driver. It does the exact same thing. So red-white, passenger, red-black, driver. Okay, so I put the front bumper back on, and all the lights up here are wired. That's the harness. That's all you get to see. And back here pretty much just is all tucked and hidden. So it runs over here, and then what I'm going to do is just kind of follow. You can't really see it, I'll show it to you tomorrow, but I'm just going to follow that airbag harness back into the car. I have it all routed with the airbag sensor wiring, because that was something that actually had clips. I just zip tied it to it for now. And then the windshield wiper and the brake master cylinder level sensor is kind of integrated. If Trevor gets some loom, we'll loom it, but I'm not exactly sure what he wants to do with that. I'm using the original plug that goes in this hole, and what's left to do is shorten these wires right here. I depinned and kind of organize these a little bit better because they're all tangled up because I was shoving them through. I need to connect this red-blue wire to a plug inside, and then I could, once I shorten these, I could pretty much zip tie everything and put this plug in, and then everything else will be inside the car. Harness is all the way in. It just runs with the airbag sensor wire, and just kind of runs up in there. I don't have any loom on it right now, so it's just bare wires. Trevor is gonna end up putting loom on it, but have it going right into the through the firewall with the factory plug. The hood release is just hanging there. Trevor needs to rerun it through that little hole. And now I'm going to work on the stuff on the inside of the car. It should, you know, be pretty straightforward. I'm not exactly sure where I want to put it. There's not very much room up here because there's a lot of fuse boxes and stuff already there. So I was thinking the quarter panel. Okay, so I have the hazards on, just making sure the switches work, and seems like everything does work. The headlight. The one thing I ended up doing, since that heater relay was going to be such a big issue, is I'm using the factory fuse relay box, and Trevor is going to see if he can stick it up here. If not, it's going to go back in the quarter back here.
All right, Dave's been slacking with this video, right, Dave? All right, I think he's been slacking with this video, so I'm gonna help him out a little bit. Dave, what are you doing?
No, I'm just trying to solder with this soldering iron that stopped working as well. It was.
Well, you knew that thing sucked.
I mean, no, it was working really good, and then it just was like, nope. So I have the torch for bigger wires, and you know.
Yeah. So what's really going on here? So
it's almost done.
How done?
I mean, once I get all these, so these wires are all the right length, and these wires are not the right length. So once I get all these, it should fit right in here.
So you're making all of the wires this length?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're shortening some and lengthening some?
Well, they're all lengthened. They just need to be shortened now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're shortening them?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you had long ones and then now you have short ones. Okay. And this thing's going up here, right here in the quarter panel, like where that speaker is, but like in front of it?
Yeah.
How many color wires do you got?
I mean, most of them are the same color until like right here, and then they kind of change.
But then they go back to the normal color right here.
Yeah.
Okay. That's good. So we decided to use the stock box, and that just makes it a lot easier because that one that I had, it didn't have the correct relay things, and this thing is nice because it actually distributes all the power to all of the things.
I mean, that's not really a big deal. Just the whole blower motor resistor, or the blower motor relay this one had 3 little prongs for different settings, so it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah. And did you already show them how all the lights work?
No. Well,
Or that was just on your Instagram?
I think it's just on Instagram. I was gonna do it once this is in there and I could plug it in.
Once it's actually done. Did you show them all the wiring up front?
Kinda. I mean, I did a little bit. But...
So David, when he had it on the lift, you could see it a lot better. But essentially, this is all the wiring that you'll see. There's no wires over here at all, other than right here. This is for the AC, like the HVAC stuff, the pressure switch for the AC. And then you can see it has all the wires going right here along the top. Kind of goes in here. You can see right there. And it goes up over here. And then it comes down over here. It plugs in all the things that needed to plug in. Plugged in right there into that fuse box, and then basically from there he just extended the wires that would typically be running in that fuse box right there, right here. He basically just pulled them all back, pulled them through here, and then now they're going to be up in there.
Yeah.
Is essentially what happened. So, and he deleted a lot of stuff too. Where's all the stuff you deleted?
It's over there. Relays for the fans and stuff.
These things? Not this thing. This isn't what he deleted, but I don't know. Everything's coming together pretty good, and I'm pretty stoked to actually see this thing, you know, all wire tucked and nice. So, well, actually, it's pretty close up here, but the headlights, the tail lights, the blinkers, turn signals, the dash, the HVAC stuff, the blower motor didn't turn on or anything. I'm not sure what's up with that yet, but like all the lights, the dash lights, all that stuff turned on, so that's good. And the seat moves once we give everything power. So I guess Dave's gonna continue doing that, and we'll fill you in. And I don't know what any of this stuff is right here, but he's been making a little bit of a diagram.
Okay, so this is pretty much it. I have been working on the Supra wiring harness for a few days now, and just trying to get everything in the correct position and tucked and working how it's supposed to be. So right now the low beams are on with the marker lights, and you can see there's all the wires are hidden. But what's happening is Trevor needs to mount the fuse box and relay box right in there, and you can see this wires coming up to the battery. The battery will be back somewhere back here, and then there'll be a wire coming from the alternator starter back to this battery. You can see the tail lights work. The gauges work. They're all illuminated. Something's up with the blower motor. So this is the wire that goes to the other side. and there might be something that's unplugged in the actual, you know, under the dash. This right here, I left this out. This is for the pump for the windshield wiper, washer fluid. And if I do this, the brights work. If I do this, the hazards all work.
The question is though, Dave, does it start?
Well, you don't have a starter in it, so.
I mean, we could.
Yeah, we could. But yeah, everything is nice and tucked. The harness, pretty much, I had to extend it just a little bit, and the cover that covers this up will hide the harness, and then this just needs to follow that back over there and go up through the dash like this to plug in on that side. And then also this will be just kind of tucked in here for now until he does a windshield washer reservoir somewhere. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the Supra wiring. And now that it's all tucked, we're pretty much gonna finish up, you know, put the radiator in and do all the other stuff. He's painting the valve covers and coil cover and intake manifold, and then some fabrication for the intercooler stuff will happen. So it was you know, took a little bit of time to do, but at least it's all tucked and you can't see the wiring. Okay, so this is kind of a really bad wiring diagram, but this kind of just shows like the layout of all the lights and what wire colors they are and everything. I'll just kind of zoom into it so you can see. And the little black dots right here are where wires connect. Where there's no dots, they don't connect. That's how normal wiring harness diagrams kind of work. And this is where they go to that white plug right here. And then these are the main fuses. They're 15 amp or 20 amp. JDM ones are 20 amp, but they go to that. And then these are powered through that relay on the little box that used to be in the engine. That's the end of this video. I'm glad the Supra wiring is tucked and done. It did take a few days just to get everything situated, to get some wire to extend the wires and all that stuff, but it does look a lot better. There's no fuse box. I'll show like a stock Supra engine bay with the fuse box, and it definitely came out a lot nicer than I was kind of expecting. I'm pretty decent at wiring. I like, when I do wiring, I like to use all new wire and connectors and stuff like that, but Trevor wanted this done quick, so, you know, using old wire and not the same color wire as the original wire kind of is usually what happens, but to get stuff done on YouTube schedules. But it is all nice. We are going to wrap it. Trevor has some like fabric loom, I think, that we'll wrap it in, and once he figures a way to mount that fuse box that used to be in the engine bay, it will be really nice. So thanks for watching. Comment below, subscribe if you're not subscribed, click that bell for notifications. I do know YouTube has been kind of being weird with my channel, so definitely click the bell, and see you guys tomorrow.